Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with match number 1 with our new Skred Red with the 4 Wormcoil engines. Yes, we'd like to play first. Let's hope for a good hand here. This is on the verge of being playable. I think it's actually playable. We have 2 lightning bolts and a relic. But I am going to mulligan it, and that's a better hand, so we'll keep it. We got a Blood Moon, a lightning bolt, and two mountains. So pretty much the same hand. What we traded was a lightning bolt for another mountain, and the Koth is a little bit better than a Chandra. So we'll go ahead and keep this and just lead off with a relic and then pass the turn to our opponent. Again, relic is pretty powerful in this format. It's very good against both Jund, Junk, and Grixis Delver, as it can really set back Snapcaster Mage. It can set back Grim Lavamancer. Yeah, not a bad card. So now we just play the route of hopefully hitting land drops. And he doesn't decide to crack his Polluted Delta. That's interesting. So having a clue what we're up against, a Polluted Delta could be anything. Now, if Flood is Strand, a Polluted Delta makes me think it's Esper Mentor. I think he's trying to wait to see if I have a Blood Moon. And I'm not even going to cycle through the relic just quite yet. So there, I'm going to make him to get rid of his Polluted Delta. The bad news about Skred Red is people are starting to understand the deck, and they're going to get basic lands now. When you first start playing this deck, everyone was being extremely greedy and getting dual lands, and then really setting themselves up for getting locked out with Blood Moon. So I can lock him out of white so far. I think that I'll need to blow the Relic of Progenitus here. Again, I have not a clue what I'm up against. Hopefully it's just a Monastery Mentor. It's going to be a Kitchen Finks, so we're going to bolt it. And then we'll Relic. So if we can slam a land here, if we draw into another Wormcoil and just those trips of Wormcoil, we can draw into a land and we can just lock him out with Blood Moon. That was a great lucky draw here. So now Blood Moon, we've locked him out of white. And all he has is a blue source. Now we need Koth to hit. We need to top into another land. There is his white source. He naturally has it, but he's still locked out of double colors on both. Detention Sphere's my Blood Moon. I guess that's okay. Gets back his I mean, he was fine, though. He had all the colors he needed. Unfortunately, we miss our land drop yet again. And I'm wondering if this is some sort of enchantment-based deck. Just using Kitchen Finks to help stabilize against mono red. That is my best bet. But we desperately need to hit into land drops. It's never a good thing to hit into the trips of Wormcoil Engine. There's a land drop. I think I'm going to let him cast something before I just drop out Koth. I'm thinking there's a Cryptic Command in his hand. And I hope it's not like a Vendilion Click here. Venser. Enters battle, return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So he's going to bounce back a mountain. We'll bolt it off. Kind of sets me back a bit. It's annoying. But still allows us, if he taps out, like, we're fine. There's another land, so we're going to be hitting our land drops. But it's getting quite scary with how much lands he has. Again, I have not a clue what deck this is. I have not seen a Venser Shaper Savant forever. And he's going to Cryptic Command back. So it's just some sort of... Is this an extra turns deck? But still not in any I mean, if he's got to be using Cryptic Command to bounce a land, that's not the greatest feeling ever. Now we have an answer versus Geist, if this is a Geist deck. And there's another Kitchen Finks. And I'm sure he's got Cryptic Mana up. So it's going to be hard for me just to slam down a Koth, but we have another Koth here, so might as well bait one out. As it is going to be a Cryptic Command. So counter draw. There's 2 Cryptics out of the way. But if one of these Wormcoil Engines can stick, I guess Detention Sphere is really tough for Wormcoil Engine. And if that's the case, I'll probably be taking Wormcoil Engine out in this matchup, because you got to think Path to Exile and you have to think Detention Sphere. And we'll just bring in the Stormbreath Dragons, or we'll have the Stormbreath Dragons that dodges both of those removals. And now here's a Venser, exile target permanent you own, return it. So, what to do here? There's a Chandra Pyromaster. That's, I guess I can cast both Koth and Chandra, but then I can cast Koth and Wormcoil Engine here, though. No, I can't. That's 5. Yeah, 5/6. So Koth can come out. And hopefully he doesn't have a mana leak. And now he's got to have an answer for the Wormcoil. Hopefully it's not a Detention Sphere or a Path to Exile. So it's just going to be, I'm sure, like Wall of Omens is in here. Anything that has a lot of value off Venser is going to be in here. So we'll bring in, I think Rending Volley might be okay. I'd like to see some more cards to know exactly what to bring in. But he does just have insane carded, well, 5 cards left in hand and so far up on the land count. He might just be Cryptic Commanding to bounce a Wormcoil to kill off Koth, but he can actually just give it unblockable. So there's Cryptic number 3, counter draw, and he'll attack in with Kitchen Finks to kill off Koth. And then he's keeping up 3 mana for something. So yeah, this is getting very, very annoying with the Cryptics. Yeah, Snapcast. I'd love to just draw into a Relic here and slam down a Relic. And the Shackle is going to control target islands. 1, 2, 3. He has 4 islands. So I hope I just draw into a land. It's a Skred. I can actually Skred and Volcanic Fallout. Or, here we go. Since he's tapped out, we're going to Skred. And this comes back as a 2/1. But he can now bounce the Detention Sphere to grab a Chandra. But then all of his... I don't know, that kind of hurts him. And we are able to tick down Venser, which is nice. I think that it's in his best interest to bounce his detention sphere. Boyle's going to be a lovely addition. So Leyline is Sanctity. Yeah, that's an issue for sure. Well, actually it's not. How many cards in our deck do we... Yeah, how many cards in our deck do I actually hit him with? Not many. So you really have the 4th Cryptic command. That will be so... And he gets an emblem whenever you cast spell exile target permanent. Yeah, that is very, very gross. So, unfortunately, I have to Volcanic Fallout. But we're most likely going to lose this because of Venser. Just not a lot of ways to interact with Venser. I mean, again, Stormbreath Dragon will be very good. And I can bolt it. Oh, yep, that actually works. I can't bolt him. So, I think we lose to Venser. Because now he just emblems and casts anything. I mean, the only thing that I can hope for is a Stormbreath Dragon and hope he doesn't have a way to deal with it. Well, I'm just going to concede this. There's no way we come out of this. He bolts next turn and then just casts a bunch of stuff. And we're a long ways away from... Wow, we are a long ways away from being able to hit off Venser. So Boyle is going to be good. Molten Rain is good because that's one of his win conditions. Anger of the Gods is meh. I'm not a big fan of the Volcanic Fallout here. Anger of the Gods does take care of Kitchen Finks. Vandal Blast, he did seem to have enough artifacts to... I don't know, though. I don't know what else is going to come in. I could see Stony Silence coming in. And, I mean, what is bad? Pirate Spellbombs are pretty bad. Skreds are actually... Bolts and Skreds are pretty bad. I think Skred's better because it can deal with his Celestial Colonnade. So I'll bring in the Anger for the Kitchen Finks. I guess Pirate Spellbombs are just better than nothing. And again, I just don't think Bolt is good in this matchup. And Wormcoil is just... It's better than nothing. And again, we just don't have a lot of hate for this deck. Skred is definitely a better deck to be running in an 8-man queue or a daily, as you won't go up against decks like these nearly as much in those type of queues rather than a 2-man. A 2-man, it's pretty easy to run any deck. And the problem with running a deck like Venser is you're going to go against a bad matchup. It's going to happen. It's going to be very hard to 4-0 a tournament with this deck. As if you go up against like Affinity or Infect or any zoo-based deck, any hyper-aggressive deck, you're just done. And even Jund, I think, would be very, very tough unless they leyline right off the bat. But there's a lot of Jund that are starting to mainboard Golgari Charms. Yes, I'd like to play first. This is keepable. We have the Stormbreath Dragon. We have the Blood Moon. We have a Molten Rain. And hopefully this game we don't have to fight through 3 Cryptics. That was definitely one of the problems with the last game. That's tough when a blue player has that many. Alright, let's hope for another tap land. And then we can just drop a Blood Moon. I might just end up Molten Raining. Oh, we're 100% going to be Blood Mooning. And I'm glad I kept in those cards. So there's a Blood Moon. He's locked out. Core Firewalker's a pain. It puts me on a little bit of a clock. But we do have the Pirate Spell Bombs we can eventually draw into, and the Storm Breath is going to eat him alive. So we can actually Mind Stone and Molten Rain here, which I think is a little bit better than... I'd like to cut him out of blue, actually, rather than white. So maybe we do just Chandra. And make him start attacking into... into the Chandra. Yeah, look at Blood Moon. Just being incredibly strong here. We'll get the Storm Breath Dragon going. I mean, he could have a path. And we'll get in here for 4 with the Storm Breath. He can't fetch up... he's got Flooded Strands and Polluted Deltas, so it's going to be hard for him to fetch up a... a blue source. So we'll play that. Play a Mind Stone. And play another Mind Stone. Molten Rain off the plains. And he scoops. Okay, so there's the power of the Blood Moon. And again, I don't think I do much. We'll just go to the next game. Unfortunately, we are on the draw this time, so getting on a third turn Blood Moon might be a bit harder. Geez, Boil seems so incredibly good in this one too. End up boiling if he plays like double Howled Fountains again, and a bunch of, if he just starts getting basic islands, and then taps out for something stupid, we can boil and just probably kill like 4 lands. I actually think of going up in the count of Boil. This is, I'm gonna keep it just for the Boil. Let's do it. We have his Scrying Sheets. Oh, our opponent mulls a 5. Keeps the Leyline of Sanctity, so he basically mulled to 4. Leyline doesn't do much against us. It shuts down Cost Ult. Didn't like to see that land, but that's fine. Land Go is a decent strategy versus his deck. Tectonic Edge is actually very annoying, because it'll take care of my Scrying Sheets. And he misses land drop, so this is going good versus us, or going good for us. So misses land drop again. And we'll start to try to filter. Hey, look at that. So here, this is definitely the right play. If it gets countered, it gets countered. Remanded, leaked, I don't know. One of the two. Mana leak. Can't pay it. That is very annoying. Again, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I have insane card advantage at this point. There's a Chandra. Chandra's kind of awkward. I'm actually just going to Mind Stone. And this way we can boil if he plays another island. Just a Pirate Spellbomb, that's good for the... So can I actually... No, I can add 6, 7. I can actually pay for a Mana Leak now. Okay, that's a negate. Alright, we'll Pirate Spellbomb. And then pass the turn back to him. So even though he's knocking lands, he's getting very efficient answers. So there's a Glacial Fortress. I actually can't do anything about that. That's not something I can boil. I'll draw a card here. There's a Koth. At this point, I think we just do run Koth out. And there we go. This can be hard for him to come back from. Oh, are you kidding me? I swear I clicked on one that was in the center. I didn't even see the one land that I just played. He's going to Tech Edge the Scrying Sheets. Snapcaster Mage. Well. We'll Skred it. He's going to path his own guy. And that gets rid of a path. All right, so I hope that doesn't end up killing us with... Oh, he just scoops anyway. I'll have to check and see. I swear I clicked on one in the middle, and usually the mountains in the middle are 100% not... I mean, the annoying way you have to do it is you have to right-click on here, and it will say, newly controlled, as the images are so poor quality these days. With this, or it doesn't show Summon Sickness until you turn it into a creature. So yeah, there we go. So newly controlled. It'll say that right there when you right click. So just avoid doing that mistake with Koth. Anyway, this has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.